Yes, I can tell you don't want to go. Honestly, fellas.
In here! What the heck are you playing at?
I'm trying for the jackpot, aren't I? I'm entitled to it. It's on my premises.
Oh, perfectly entitled. Perfectly.
Well, look, if it does come up, how much do you think I'll get?
How much have you put in?
Oh, 12 bob.
Well, let me see. Now, presuming it pays up next time, and presuming it pays 100% minus your stake, I would say somewhere in the region of 12 bob. Yeah, Beck, it was empty.
You hear such stories, though.
Well, you're a grown woman. You had an affair with a married man. You can take care of yourself.
Doesn't mean to say I can take care of myself.
Yeah, but you're not a kid and you haven't got a job. You can faff about here for the rest of your natural, unless you want to make something positive out of your life.
Will it be any better?
Oh, I don't know, Joe, but I'm willing to take the chance. Look, we've got 100 quid each. Let's make it work for us. Let's do something definite with it. Let's not just ruin it. You know what you're saying, don't you?
If you do.
Oh, I've noticed I had the idea. I wouldn't be doing it if I wasn't sure, would I?
It's a big step, Susie.
It's the only step. And we're big people. Well, I am any road. Come on, where's your sense of adventure? I was right in what I said, you know. We do live in a depressed area. And who wants to spend the rest of your life in a depressed area?
It's not that depressed.
It's depressed enough for me. Oh, not before time either. I thought you'd be pleased. Here, Dolly Daydream, sort yourself something out of that. And if you're making chips, make enough for 3.
She's good to us.
She'll be the first to tell you it means nothing.
It means something to me.
Look, for once in your life, will you stop thinking about other people and think about yourself? Elsie'd be the first to tell you that. Elsie would be the first to tell you what? Oh, at this rate, we'll get a long way in a long time, won't we? How much did that lot cost you? More than I could afford, why? Will you be pleased to know that after tomorrow you can divide it by 3? Do you want a cup of tea? No, I don't want a cup of tea.
We're going to London.
London? Yeah. We've talked it over and we're definitely going. I'm going to be a bunny girl and she's going to be a traffic warden, or the other way around to pay on the size of the costumes. But we're definitely going. So don't try and stop us, Elsie.
Ah, but will they go? Classic Coronation Street, tomorrow at 6:30 on Plus. Next this evening, Blind Date.
What? I wanted to wear this at Jane's Sports today. Oh, it'll need a second wash. Some powders can let you down. Not this one, though. Bold Automatic. What's so special about Bold? I find it gets most things clean first time. Jane!
This is ITV News. There will now be a change to our scheduled programme as we take you live to Downing Street for a special announcement by the Prime Minister. Good evening. Well, I hope today finds you well. I'm sorry to interrupt you in the middle of your usual programmings. I know you enjoy that sort of thing. And you'll be pleased to know I'm not going to talk about the coronavirus for a change. I'm sure you've had plenty of that already, and you're fed up with me going on about it. So I'm going to talk to you about something different. Now, This is going to be a bit difficult for me. I've never talked about this sort of thing before. It sounds a bit strange coming out of my mouth, to be honest, and I haven't had much time to prepare for this speech, so I hope you'll forgive me if I'm a little rambly. But no doubt you're aware of the recent news stories over the past few months regarding the flying saucers, the UFOs, and some speculation over what they might or might not be, the strange videos that have been appearing out of America and things like that. Trust the Yanks to get in there first. Well, anyway, I have been informed that I have to tell you something about it. You, the British people, have a right to know. Excuse me. So I've spent long hours in consultation with key members of our defence and intelligence services over the matter during the course of today, including the Ministry of Defence, the Chief of the Defence Staff, and a number of experts in the scientific and intelligence community, including the head of Central Secret Intelligence Service, etc. And I'm now in a position to inform you, the British people, that there is now overwhelming evidence that the United Kingdom and the world at large, beyond our borders, whatever you care about that or not, is being interacted with by an intelligence that is not human and does not originate on planet Earth. I'm sure if you live in another country, well, that's a pity, but if you live in another country, your own head of government or head of state will be giving a similar speech to the one I'm giving you now, albeit staggered slightly for time zones and that sort of thing, and when you have tea, which may be a bit different to we in Britain. But you will, at some point within the next 12 hours or so, receive the same speech that I'm giving you now. So if you're watching online from a foreign country and you're slightly ahead of me, then, well, you're getting in there before everyone else, and you'll be well informed before your own head of government even says anything. That's absolutely true. Now, the exact nature of this phenomenon, this intelligence that is not human, and does not originate on planet Earth, is not known other than those little things. It's not human and it's not from Earth. But research into this question is well advanced and has been for quite a long time. We actually were looking into this for a little while and we never told you, so I'm sorry about that. I'll make it up to you, bring back school milk or something like that. But anyway, for the meantime, I just want to reassure you of one thing. There is absolutely no indication that this said intelligence has any hostile intentions at all towards the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth, or indeed the human race in general, which doesn't, well, it's not included among those things. Pity for them. This aforementioned interaction has been ongoing for quite a while, many decades at least, and no harm has been done to us so far. In fact, well, no, I can't tell you that right now. Sorry, something just popped into my head now, and I realise I'll save that for another day. But don't worry, that's all I'm saying. If anything, I would comment that it appears that we are under neutral and detached observance by this intelligence. I will shortly be making available by order of council an extensive press package which will contain numerous and newly declassified numerous amounts of material relating to this subject. This will be free to distribute to all media outlets, and there's interesting things in there actually. About these UFOs and what they've been doing for so long. In fact, we caught one of the little blighters once. Yes, it came down in Nottinghamshire near Mansfield, and we sent the army out, sealed the place off, and gathered it all up and sort of put it all on the back of a helicopter and flew it out, and no one was any of the wiser. I remember that very well. Oh, sorry, I wasn't supposed to tell you that just yet. No, don't worry, I'll talk to you about that another day. But anyway, it's in the declassified material. So at some point in the next week or so, you'll be hearing all about that. And it's funny, incidentally, that my predecessor, not Theresa May, no, my better predecessor, David Cameron, the predecessor before that silly cow who used to be in this chair before I was, yes, David Cameron, he was actually at Hustings once, and a man called Richard D. Hall came up to him and challenged him on this matter, and he made a big joke about it. Oh, that was really bad of him. But then the thing about it is, he didn't know about it. He wasn't told. No one let him know anything. So he can't really be blamed for that. So I'm sure Mr. Hall will understand that. And if Mr. Hall came up to me today, I would be honest with him, and I'll tell him everything I knew. The fact of the matter is, though, we Prime Ministers, we don't know everything. They don't tell us everything. We just know what we need to know, really, and no one actually told me about this until a couple of days ago, and I was only told to tell you about it, or, well, you know, people tell me to say things. I mean, it's like the proms, you know, people don't want me to say certain things, and they do want me to say certain things, and even though I'm the Prime Minister, I have to do as I'm told, yes, by, well, I won't tell you exactly who they are, but certain people, tell me what to say and do, and I have to sometimes say and do what they say and do. They tell me to. But anyway, Mr. Cameron actually didn't know anything about this when he was actually not Prime Minister at the time when Mr. Hall confronted him, and indeed, in fact, even later on, no one told him. In fact, by the time he left office and resigned in place of that silly cow, Theresa May, no one told him anything, and you know what? No one told old Mrs. May anything either. So I'm the first Prime Minister who knows anything about this, or at least I think I am. So that makes me very special, in another way. Anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. Where was I? Yes. I'm also establishing, via another order of council, a new government department reporting directly to me to manage this matter. It is the Ministry of Extraterrestrial Affairs. And there will be a Minister of Extraterrestrial Affairs appointed very soon. Let's hope it's someone sensible and not someone with a bad past who likes to cheat on his wife and things like that. So the press get hold of it. I'll try and find someone a little bit more trustworthy. I'm well aware that the inherent nature of my announcement this evening is very worrying and frightening, and I understand your feelings, but don't worry about it. See, I can laugh about it. So can you. You know, we're British. We have to keep a stiff upper lip on all these things. But I do have a duty to maintain an environment of calm debate. Therefore, I have instructed the Chancellor of the Exchequer to order the closure of all stock markets until further notice. So Bank of England and everything like that, that's the London Stock Exchange, all shut down. Yes, indeed. Even the coronavirus couldn't stop that, but, well, UFOs will, or UAPs as I'm supposed to call them these days. I've also instructed all police commissioners that all and any measures will be available to any of them who feel they require assistance to maintain law and order, and police forces are ordered to initiate an unlimited overtime policy. Now, I don't want to be more precise about that, but obviously, you know, if you buggers start playing up and start panicking and raiding shops and things like that, I'm going to have to send the army in to sort you out. And I don't want to do that because I'm British and we don't do those sorts of things in British. It's very un-British. But, you know, if you keep calm, keep quiet and carry on and all that sort of thing, keep calm, carry on. I love that keep calm, carry on phrase. It's wonderful. So long as you do it, I won't have to send in the troops. But you start messing around, then I'm afraid I will have to do that. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shut up and I'm going to give way to a separate broadcast. I'm afraid I can't send you back to your normal programming. I'm sorry. I've got some recorded on VHS, so I'll be watching some of the programs from long ago. But in the meantime, I'm going to now be quiet, cut this broadcast, and we will now move to another broadcast from the Parliamentary Members' Lobby, where the Ministry of Defence and the Chancellor of the Exchequer and lots of other officials and scientists and Professor Brian Cox and a few other interesting people will be discussing the various details of what I have just outlined. Excuse me, just what? Excuse me? So I'm getting a message. Oh, sorry, Professor Brian Cox has just committed suicide. All right, it'll be somebody else. We're all safe, and our nation is safe, and we will move into this new era together, because I believe we all have a right to know, and we all have a need to know. May God save the Queen, and bless Britain, and protect us. Rule Britannia! God blimey. Here, Jenny. Did he just say what I thought he said?
I think he did, Frank. Yeah, he said something about aliens.
He says there was aliens. He says aliens are real. Well, that's not possible, surely. Because we've been laughing at them for ages. It's just been something nutjobs believe in. No one actually thinks aliens are actually real, do they?
Well, it appears they are. I think they made a mistake, and it turns out aliens are real. So, you know, that's the thing, Frank, ain't it? They sometimes get it wrong.
How can they get something like this wrong, Jenny? How's it possible? I mean, either there's aliens or there ain't. And did he say something about how they already knew? They already knew and they never told us?
He did, I think. He said something like that, Frank.
Jenny, they actually said to us, that they knew there was aliens. He talked about catching one of them or something in Nottingham or something. Do you remember that? He said that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's not good enough, because they've been telling us to laugh at them. They've been saying it's all rubbish, and I've got to be honest, I have been laughing at them, Jenny. I took the mickey out of them. It's like that bloke on... What's that bloke on the internet? What's what you told me about him, and I went and watched him. And what's his name? The hospital porter or something, the bald guy. Sounds got a taffy name. What is it?
It's Ben Emlyn Jones. Ben Emlyn Jones, Frank, yeah. For Panwell, Hospital Porters Against the New World Order. He's got that YouTube channel, Ben the JR Porter. I showed you some of his videos.
Yeah, you did and all. I thought that bald git was talking a load of crap. He was. I mean, he was absolute nonsense. I thought, how can a grown man, absolutely believe that there's aliens and things like that? I mean, it just doesn't make no sense at all.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you might be interested. He's quite a good laugh sometimes.
I don't care if he's a laugh or not. We're supposed to be laughing at him. And now the Prime Minister has just gone and told us that aliens are real. And they knew about it and they never told us. Not only did they never tell us, they told us to laugh at it. They lied to us, Jenny. They lied to us.
Yeah, I suppose they did.
No suppose about it, Jenny. They lied. How long have they been lying for? I mean, when did that thing in Nottingham happen?
I don't know. It'll all be in the... Well, if you turn the sound up on the TV...
No, keep the TV down at the moment. I want to talk to you about this. This will all be recorded anyway.
It's... Well, he said that it'll all be in this press package they're releasing. I suppose we will find out about it in the newspapers in the next couple of days, and they'll tell us all about the thing in Nottingham, whatever it was. You know, it's like...
Oh, blimey. I bet it was a long time ago. I've heard about these things. It's like that Ben bloke was talking about this Roswell thing. I think that happened, was it 1945? 1947? No,
1947 it was, Frank.
1947. How long ago's that? That's bloody hell, that's 73 years! And they knew about it and they never told us.
I think so, yeah. That's a long time.
They lied to us, and they made us laugh at it to keep the secret. That is despicable. That is diabolical. And you know what? It's like, what else did that bloke say? That Ben?
He said that they're keeping the secret from us for all kinds of reasons, so they can manipulate us and control our minds and things like that.
Jenny, I don't want my mind controlled, you understand me? I want to be treated like a bloody adult and treated with respect. And I don't want governments telling me what to think and messing with my head so I think something they want to think. And they've just admitted they've been doing it.
I know, dear, that's really awful, isn't it? Excuse me, I've got a bit of a cough, Frank.
That's all right, Jenny. Go and get some Benylin. Now, there was something else. He did this video as well called... what was that video he did? Have you had your Benylin now? Great. Energy, politics and UFOs or something. And he talked about how... it's that they actually know all about these UFOs and how they work, and about how it uses this particular kind of energy, right, which is completely free, and it's completely clean, and it will last forever.
Yeah, that's right. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, it'd be nice to have that. Maybe they'll let us have it now. But hang on a minute, Frank. What does... You was just saying they've been lying to us for 73 years.
Yeah, at least that. Maybe for longer. Who knows? Maybe one of these UFO things has crashed somewhere else apart from Nottingham.
Well then, I was just wondering, we always hearing on TV about how the world's in terrible trouble because of global warming and forests being cut down, and there's all these oil in the oceans, and these ships sink and the oil comes out and it goes everywhere and it kills all the little birdies and things like that, and it tears up the ground, and there's all this rubbish everywhere, and there's all these big cars which pour out smoke that choke people to death and things like that. I was just thinking, Frank, why That's because we've been using petrol, haven't we? Petrol and oil and things like that, and coal and stuff like that. Yeah, I guess that is, isn't it? Yeah. So, what do you mean by that, Jenny? I mean, Frank, that maybe if they told us back in 1947 that these UFOs had this kind of energy, maybe they could have sort of like made copies of it and given it to us. Well, why is that such a big deal? Well, then we wouldn't have these problems, would we, with oil and stuff like that, and forests being cut down and global warming and stuff like that. Global warming doesn't exist anyway. It doesn't matter if it exists or not. I mean, you're burning these fossil fuels, it's giving off all these chemicals, which is damaging the environment. So, Frank, this is so much worse than we thought. So much worse. This lie has been destroying the planet Earth. And, good blimey. Just think how much better off we would be if we didn't have to pay our electricity bill. How much was our electricity bill last month? I don't know. I ain't paid it yet. I'm gonna let the buggers wait, I say. Well, it's going to be a lot of money. I mean, just think, if we didn't have that money to pay, we could spend it on other things. We could buy more food and stuff like that. And and you wouldn't have those little kids dying of starvation in Africa and places like that, and Blue Peter going around with their collecting jars and stuff like that. You wouldn't need all that, would you? Because they wouldn't be poor. If everyone had all this energy, they wouldn't be poor, would they? Yeah, well, absolutely not. But there's sort of affairs of state to consider here. What sort of affairs of state would it mean? I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, if they just give us these things, these little copies of these UFO energy systems, and we put them in our houses and cars, and yeah, just think how much better everything will be. It'll be fantastic. Yeah, but I mean, you got to think about like, well, Frank, what reason is there? What reason is there that they would do this? Why do they keep it quiet from us? Well, do you know what? That's a good question, Jenny. I admit I don't know. Maybe they'll tell us, will they? We'll have to go up there to this, or let's ask our representatives, write to our MPs and that sort of thing, and say, oi, why did no one tell us about this before? Think what good could have been done if only they told us and they didn't tell us. You're right, I'll do that. And, well, I suppose we're going to hear about it in this press conference, so could you put the sound up, please? I will in a minute. I was just thinking, we're going to have to ask them some tough questions, ain't we? We're going to ask them some questions, and, well, I don't know about you, Frank, but I'm pretty angry about this. You know what, Jenny? So am I. I'm angry about the way we've been treated as people, and the way this planet has been treated. And just think, right? Just think. We thought we was just this little pale blue dot that that scientist bloke talked about. And we weren't. We're just one little planet, and there's life out there elsewhere in the universe. Just think how that changes everything. And they didn't tell us. They didn't tell us, the bastards. The bastards. I suppose we mustn't vote for Boris next time, shall we? God, to hell with Boris. This is worse than that. This goes back beyond that. Goodness me. What are we going to do about it? Well, let's turn the TV up and have a listen to what they have to say. All right, Jenny, we'll do that, and then, well, I'm going to cause some major trouble, I don't mind telling you, and I'm going to get other people to do the same. Where's the phone? That's it. You go tell them, Frank. You get some of the guys together, and we'll get a few coachloads of people to go out of London and tell Boris what we think of him. But I'll tell you what. What about that bloke, Ben Emlyn Jones? What about him? We've had enough of internet loonies for now. But don't you see, Frank? He's not an internet loony. If all this stuff is true, then he was right all along. Yeah, all right. I suppose he was. Well, let's go and watch some of his videos. And apparently he's written some books, hasn't he? Maybe they'll be able to tell us something about it. What, those books? Oh, they're just stories. They don't mean anything, do they? They're novels. I mean, one's called A Novel of Disclosure or something like that, is it? Yeah, it's called... let me just Google it a minute. Yeah, it's called Roswell Rising, A Novel of Disclosure by Ben Emlyn Jones. And, well, he's written 2 more called Roswell Revealed and Roswell Redeemed. So it's like a trilogy of books. And it says here, not... Jenny, novel means not real. It means a story. It's like Oliver Twist, mate. It's like Oliver Twist. Or on those other so silly of stories, you know, like Tom Clancy, you know, or Jackie Cookson, or whatever these things are. I don't know. I don't read many books, but you know what I mean. It's not real. It's fake. Yeah, but I mean, maybe it was fake, but who knows? You know, sometimes real things come true that are written in books beforehand. Well, sometimes, yeah, obviously. Well, maybe these books by Ben Emlyn Jones will be able to tell us a little bit about what's going on in the world now. You know, what Boris just said. Maybe if we get hold of some copies now, maybe we can read them and they'll give us some ideas, some ways of understanding all the stuff that Boris has just said. Well, all right, then, can we order them from somewhere? Yeah, there you can get them from all good bookshops, apparently, and you can get them on Amazon and things like that. How much do they cost then? Is it a lot of money? £10 each. That's £30. £30? God, bloody £30 for some books. Well, let's just spend the money we were going to spend on the electricity bill, shall we? Yeah, we're all right, Jenny. Get us some copies of them. Get 2 copies of each. One for me, one for you. I'll race you to the end of them. Maybe then we'll have some idea of what's going on in this world. As for you, Boris, you twat, you've really let us down, mate. You've really let us down. And we're going to come for you, and we're going to kick you out of office. So, yeah. Honestly, mate, if I was in his position, I'd have just kept my mouth shut. I wouldn't have said a word. Well, maybe people higher up, like he says, have told him to say something like they did with the proms. Yeah. Now, I wonder who they are. Well, Ben says they're lizards. Oh, come on, don't be ridiculous. Oh, he was right about the UFOs. Oh, yeah, but not lizards? Oh, come off it. Oh, I'll save that for another day. Let's just order these books anyway, and I've managed to get a couple of guys together, so we'll head down to London and have a big protest. So I hope to see you there. If anyone's out there, my goodness me, I'll get hold of them and I'll bring them with us. So, all right then. I've ordered the books. Let's enjoy them. Be fun. Yeah, that's right. I mean, at least it takes our mind off the bloody coof, doesn't it?